Hello, if you want to watch exclusive lemon content on What If Naruto, then go to my Boosty. The first link in the description here contains such hot stories for adults, such as what if Naruto was a daddy for Sarada, or Kushina and Mikoto vulgar Naruto mommies. Follow the link and enjoy. I'm waiting for you.
I find myself in the middle of a battle against Madara Uchiha, together with Sasuke, which to be honest hasn't helped much. But hey, what can you ask him to do? He recently learned that humanity was worth, even if it was little. While we were sharing blows, Sasuke and I stepped back to take a breather. Just at that, Madara decides to give us a speech about the power and how invincible he was. But I managed to see how Zetsu approaches from behind him and pierces his shattered heart. Sasuke and I looked at each other surprised. That was something I didn't expect. I didn't waste a moment, and I went over to talk to her. Zed, his mother, they want to stop us. Kagaya, mom, they don't look that strong, they are. Zetsu, yes, my uncle gave them his powers, and they are going to try to seal you. Kagaya? I started to see how he was approaching. I didn't know exactly his intentions, but I managed to see how a stick came out of his sleeve. When he attacked me, I barely managed to react. Narrator? The battle continued as they traveled between dimensions, but Kagaya finally understood that he had to separate them. He decided to go for Naruto first, because thanks to Zetsu he learned that he had been fighting longer. Kagaya created a portal and took Naruto to a dimension that she wasn't sure was a good idea. It brought back bad memories. Literally, that dimension shows your life in a third-person view. Naruto and Kagaya met at that place. Naruto was about to attack her, but instead of hitting her, he felt as if a cloth wrapped around him. The same in the case of Kagaya. This was new for her. She had never entered that dimension with someone, and the only thing she could do was see what was happening, everything that Naruto saw and lived, and in the case of Naruto, she saw what Kagaya lived. After almost 2 hours, they had both lived each other's life, managing to understand why they are that way. When Kagaya managed to see Naruto again, she only saw him surprised, and Naruto approached her shyly. "I'm sorry, Naruto," he said, coming out of his six ways wise way, extending his hand towards Kagaya. Kagaya was simply shocked. No one besides Tenji had ever behaved like this to her. She accepted Naruto's hand. Naruto just turned to look at her with an Uzumaki smile. "Naruto, we talked." Kagaya, "Of course, but it wouldn't be here." "Naruto, where?" Kagaya follows. "He opened a portal for me and entered." Naruto, with a little hesitation, entered. As he entered, he was surprised to see what appeared to be a garden. Kagaya, "Cute, isn't it?" Naruto, "If it is, I remember being here." Smile. Kagaya, "What did you see?" "He said it would be." Naruto, "I'm not sure. I think it was you and many parts of your life," he said doubtfully. "And you?" Kagaya, "I think I saw your life." Naruto, "Did you really like any of my battles?" He said cheerfully, in a childish and proud tone, getting a giggle out of Kagaya. "Kagaya, you are awesome, regardless. The one or the why you did everything possible to help, and yes, I loved it when you defeated that young man who had the Rinnegan. Pain, if I remember correctly," said with a smile, surprising Naruto. Naruto, "Wow, I thought you couldn't smile anymore." Kagaya, "If it's been a long time since I did it, I don't remember one before this one," she said cheerfully. Naruto, "What are you going to do?" Kagaya, "I'll stay here and wait, think and see what I do next." He walked up to Naruto and gave him a tender kiss on the cheek. "Thank you." Naruto was touching his cheek for Kagaya. "I think the power consumed me a little bit, but I don't see the point anymore. My beloved has already died, my brothers just the same. I only have Zetsu who will die soon." Naruto, "And I don't count." Kagaya looks at him surprised. "But why would you do that for me?" Naruto, "Because you and I live the same." Kagaya looks at him, loneliness. Different, but the same at the same time. He extends his hand to her. "Come, I'll take care of you even if you don't need it." Kagaya was crying without realizing it, smiled and rushed towards Naruto. Kagaya, thank you, thank you." Naruto, "Well, let's go back." He took Kagaya's hand. Kagaya opened a portal, but never let go of Naruto's hand. They both crossed the portal, reaching the dimension where Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi and Obito were. Perspective of Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi and Obito. Kakashi, "Hey look," he pointed to a point where a portal was starting to form. Everyone turned around. Sakura, "That's just Kagaya." Sasuke, Naruto lost. There was sadness in his voice. Sakura started crying, and Sasuke tried to play strong. Although Naruto was not the person he would most like to meet by chance if he was his best friend. And not only that, but his only true friend, Kakashi and Obito by his. Some of them just looked down. Naruto, "Why are your heads so low?" Sakura, "Because you were defeated," turned around and saw Naruto. "You idiot, you scared us away. Wait, and the 6 ways mode." Naruto is no longer needed. Sakura was already going to give him the blow to claim him when Kagaya stopped her. Kagaya, don't even think about touching it. Naruto, Kagaya, leave her, nothing was going to happen to me, I'm already used to it. Kagaya, but. Naruto, Kagaya 3. Kagaya wasn't sure what she meant by 3, but she knew it wasn't any good. Kagaya, okay, and annoying tone. The other 4 only saw these surprised. Naruto had just controlled the enemy only with words, that enemy who was giving them an unforgettable headache. And almost killed them more than once. Naruto, well, they looked so surprised. Everyone but Kagaya and Naruto got a drop in the head. Sasuke, idiot, you just controlled the being that even the sage of the 6 paths could not control alone. Naruto, Kagaya controls you. Kagaya, no, I'm not sure. The other 4 were worse off than before, they didn't know if they were acting or were that stupid. Naruto, Kagu, you can come back to us. Kagaya, of course, Naru. Sasuke, does anyone else think it's weird? He only got a nod from the other 3, okay, and it's weird. Kagaya opened the portal, as she was about to leave, Naruto stops her. Kagaya, Naruto, there's a problem. Naruto, not calm, I just want to make a joke, and you guys will help. They tried to refuse, but Kagaya did his part. After telling them what it was all about, they all transformed into a totally destroyed version of themselves. Kagaya held Naruto with one hand, while he took the others with the other. This time they did come out on Earth. You could see all the Ukages and Ogoromo on a seal ready to bring Naruto and his group back when it's all over. When they managed to see that a portal like Kagaya's opens, showing Kagaya with Naruto in his right hand, and the rest in the back. Minato, Naruto runs towards Kagaya without thinking, but before he even touched her he heard. Naruto, Kagaya, enough is enough, he laughs, I think we're over the joke. Minato, this Naruto, you're fine. Naruto, if because it would be wrong. Minato, she's holding you by the neck. Naruto, mum, right, Kagaya, you can take me down. Kagaya sees him, and I smiled at him, of course Naru. Sasuke, I'm getting used to that already. Sakura, I'm the same. Kagaya went down to Naruto, hey Naruto, and now. Naruto, mum, first, we have to get everyone out of the Tsukuyomi. Look at Kagaya, you can. Kagaya, of course, began to release. Sasuke, wait, I still have something to do. Naruto, seriously Sasuke, you haven't changed, even after the war. Sasuke, this is something I have to do. Everything happens the same way in the anime. Kagaya did not intervene, because she understood that it was not her battle, and why Ogoromo stopped her. Ogoromo, little sister, you have a lot to explain. Kagaya, it's okay, what do you want now? Ogoromo, explain to me why you're not attacking us anymore. Kagaya, by Naruto, his expression was serious, do you remember the forbidden dimension? Ogoromo, if you never took us by. Kagaya, is an illusory dimension. It shows you your memories from a third-person perspective, but it was different. I saw him since he was beaten once, until our battle, he said with a sad smile, turned to Irizen you. I remember you I saw in the memories of Naruto, Grandpa no Sarutobi and Sarutobi. Then, he started a conversation about Naruto's life and his adventures. Kagaya was telling them as if she had been there. My born or one, I thought that so young, and with so many stories he smiled, I think he completely surpassed me. And I was not there to see him, he said sad. Of not having been able to see his son evolve in his ninja career. Then a shock wave of an explosion was felt coming from the Valley of the End. Kagaya was running along with Sakura and Kakashi. When they arrived, they found a Sasuke without his left arm and Naruto without his right. The 3 of them jumped to see what exactly had happened. This could tell that it was a battle of titans, something unmatched. 5 minutes before they arrived, Sasuke is useless because you stopped fighting with the rabbit. Naruto, things happened, you idiot. Sasuke, like what things happened, what things? Naruto, something like an idea. Illusion, but it was different, it was more real, I saw his life, and apparently he saw mine. Sasuke, wow, how deep, do you think you can stand the pressure they will put on you, just for her to be here? Naruto, I think, I've endured worse. Sasuke, right, you overcame the invincible. Naruto, more than once. From one moment to the next, Naruto saw a different place. It seemed that he was just coming to the valley, but when he arrived, the valley was already destroyed, and he was with Sasuke out of nowhere. He saw his perspective again, and turned to the place from where he saw himself, and met Kagaya. Sasuke had been static when he saw his friend, his blue eyes for a moment, he looked back. They saw purple, and with a white spiral in the middle. He hoped he wouldn't feel the need to tell her what he saw, but if necessary he would. Naruto and Sasuke were already stable after their battle, and somewhat recovered, and ready to get rid of Tsukuyomi. It was a fact that not even Kaguya with all his power could unleash. To do, but it was no problem. Naruto and Sasuke had the solution to the problem. After the dispersion of Tsukuyomi, everyone made a great shout of victory. Of course, it is that after several shouts, each ninja left for their respective village, and in the Leaf was no exception. The ninjas had been fighting for 3 days without rest. Upon arriving at the village, Kakashi was named Seizo Kage by Tsunade, and that happened with Kaguya. At first no one was sure who he was, but the war was over. The victory was for the villages, and no one took that away from them, although there were ninjas who refused. They knew that they were no competition for the village of the literal Leaf. Only 2 of his ninjas could take on 3 armies together. Besides, Kaguya decided to stay in the village of the Leaf and become a ninja of it, since his level is above that of everyone else. She was simply left as a Hounen sensei, and usually used a transformation to hide herself so that they would not notice her imposing form. But that wasn't the interesting thing. He spends all the time with Naruto, and sometimes accompanies him on his missions. But he almost doesn't usually do it, since he usually only saw him. He liked his way of fighting at the level of his opponent. Regardless, as strong as she was always, she let them put up a good fight, and that's very admirable for her. In the village his reception was in different ways. The fact that she was basically a goddess was a high-level secret. According to the story that had been made public, she had arrived in time to heal Naruto and Sasuke and finally defeat Madara. And Sakura had been given some prominence in the battle, but her solo was a blow that left Madara a little puzzled. The ones who knew the truth were the Kages, Team 7, and Kaguya herself. On the part of Naruto's friends, they saw him as just another one of their group of friends. Or almost all Ino and Jimata became suspicious to them. Ino, because it was rare to see Naruto interact. The way he did with her and Hinata, well, Hinata made him jealous, but he could control them. Today, we were meeting Naruto and Sakura returning from a mission. It wasn't a big mission, but it had its complexity from infiltrating small villages they were starting. And to find out if they had the potential of growth, or they were just another village. They found some that he liked, and some even had alliances with villages like Kiri Osuna. Kiri supported 7 very similar villages, and granted them the 7 swords. And they were basically an added group to the village with huge potential, and in the case of his, support 4 villages that specialists in puppetry or infiltration, but from there on out, there were few that really caught his attention. Sakura, Naruto, and now tell me what are you going to do tomorrow, which is that thing you've worked so hard on. Naruto, you'll see, it's an amazing thing. So cool, I'm sure not even Kaguya. Scene. Sakura, so much so. Naruto, yes, I know it seems impossible, but I discovered it on one of my missions, and it's hard to control. Smile. Sasuke had been slow to tell him about the eyes from that time, but Naruto tried to activate them. And the only thing he saw was the training camp of the Kaguya team that seemed to be training. Sasuke had asked him to think of someone else, but he could only see what Kaguya could see. And this has a simple explanation. The illusory dimension that, although it seems stupid, made sense. Naruto had worked on Kaguya's abilities, and was only able to copy the one from the portals that from him. In fact, it was very useful to him, but he hadn't told anyone but Sasuke about this. Using that skill expends a lot of chakra, so I would only do it if it was strictly necessary. Returning with Naruto, he was already together with Sakura in the Okage Tower, where Kakashi was waiting for them with his report. Kakashi, and how did it go? Naruto, interesting, but to be honest, it only suits us to support a couple of villages in the Land of Fire. This is clear from my point of view. Sakura with Naruto, the other villages already supported those who could. For me they are this taking out a folder, the waste of the sound one. And the new of the demon Su. They turn a laugh that they see Naruto as a god plus laughter. Naruto, shut up, it was embarrassing to go there remembering how I saw temples with pictures of him and statues, they even had his Bible. Naruto did not resist and bought it, and besides it was very rare. Sakura, it's a good thing Kaguya didn't go, because if not the place would have bought it. Bought complete. Naruto, shut up, I almost died when I was found out. In less than a rooster crows, a portal appeared. Kakashi, Naruto, problems at 12.00. Kaguya, Naruto, you're back, when and why did I come? Naruto, as soon as he gets back, and why you're here, no idea, but go to your students, then he caught up with you. Kaguya, but I want to eat. Naruto, go to your students first, and then I'll take you to lunch. Kaguya, but? Naruto, I'm not going to say it twice. Kaguya, well, but you invite. Naruto is done. Then Kaguya said goodbye to Naruto, as he was the only person he was talking to. Kindly and sometimes submissively. Sakura, and today where are you going to take her? Naruto, I have no idea. Kakashi, as long as he doesn't destroy the village with his tantrums, he's fine remembering the first week with Kaguya in the village. Literally, Naruto's mission was to train her so that she could control her power. Naruto, any ideas? Sakura, how about that Suna food restaurant? He's very good. Naruto, no, he doesn't like the food there. Kakashi, why are you saying that? Naruto-sensei remembers Suna's mission from recently. Kakashi nodded, and Sakura sat down in an armchair that was in the office. Naruto, well, she accompanied me, I got hungry, and I decided that we should go to an inn. My worst mistake, remembering how Kaguya almost destroyed the place because he didn't like the food, that's why I was delayed in the mission. I had to reassemble the place. Sakura was only holding back her laughter, because you know how much trouble Kaguya had gotten Naruto into. Kakashi, and if you take her to Ishiraku? Naruto, who was not forbidden to take her there. Kakashi has more confidence in you already, I doubt he thinks it's a bad place, besides you're the only person he talks to informally. Naruto Buna is already said, he runs to the door, and tells them before leaving, I see them later, and he leaves. Sakura 2500 Ria, going to Hino for help. Kakashi 2500 laughs that he's going to Ishiraku to talk to Ayami. Sasuke is seen at the window. Sasuke 2500 laugh, that goes with both of them. All three done. The three of them looked out the window to see what they were doing. While with Naruto, he just came out of the maid to clones. Naruto I had with Nino, and ask him for advice, I had Ishiraku and tell Ayami to set aside the restaurant in the evening, while I go with Kaguya. And so the three Naruto left through the front door. Sasuke Hagen, holding out his hand to receive his payment. Sakura, you had to arrive today. Kakashi only extended his arm to give the money to Sasuke. Sasuke, who is not glad that he came to visit, smiles. Sakura, no idiot, last time, you promised to take me to lunch, and in the end, you left by punching her in the head. Again with Naruto Clonino. And he wasn't tending to his family's stall when he sees Naruto approaching, with a smile and greeting. And no, hello Naruto, what a surprise to see you. Naruto, yes I know, I've done a lot of quests lately. And not sure. And isn't it for something? Or for someone? Naruto sure is, in fact, a little bit of everything. And no, and what did you come for? Naruto was promising Kaguya that he would take her to lunch, but one, I don't know what to wear, 2. I need a bouquet with a flower from each of your flowers, and 3, I need your help to be able to behave. And no, 1 dresses as usual, I'm sure, he loves it, if not he loves everything. You too, now I'll bring you your bouquet, and 3 the same. Then the first, and did not make the talk to her while making the bouquet. With Naruto, their aim was cleaning and Chiraku, and saw Naruto approaching. Naruto, their aim, I need your services tonight. Their aim, Naruto, you idiot, don't say it like that, it sounds bad. Naruto, I'm sorry, but I just need you tonight. Ishiraku is only mine, and a friend's. Their aim, with which a friend looked at him insinuatingly. Naruto, yes, a friend. Naruto, the clone stayed talking to Ahi Aim, who in fact did not stop bothering him all afternoon until it dissipated. Real Naruto. He was helping Kaguya with his students, who were actually quite good. Well, they reminded him of his early days with Team 7. Naruto corrected every mistake of Kaguya's students, while she was just watching, and learning how to talk and act with others. Kaguya, that's all for today, she said coldly. Today I will eat with Naruto, I will eat with Naruto. Naruto, you heard your sensei, I'll see you later, smile Naruto brand. Genin's later sensei saw Kaguya later. Naruto, they move away. Naruto, well Kaguya, are we leaving now or what? He extends his hand to her. Kaguya got up happily, and took Naruto's hand, where are you going to take me today? Naruto, to my favorite place. Kaguya, finally, let's go to Ishiraku, I'm going to Ishiraku with Naruto, I'm going to Ishiraku with Naruto. Naruto only saw her with a drop on her head as she started walking. Naruto tried to take Kaguya in a calm way, she was very, very excited. Naruto had gotten the Hokage's permission to call her there. Why permission? Well, Naruto was told that he won't take Kaguya there no matter how much she insisted. Kaguya didn't stop screaming that she was going with Naruto to Ishiraku, she looked like a teenager in love. Or rather a girl dating her older brother. Naruto, Kaguya, calm down now, otherwise I'm going to ban you from joining me. Naruto, with that comment, hit Kaguya's Achilles heel, that was what he liked the most at present. Kaguya, but nah. Naruto, I just wanted to come with you, the rabbit goddess said flat-headed. Naruto took her by the chin and lifted her head. Naruto, just don't shout it so loud. Kaguya, okay, in a slurred tone, but... Naruto, but nothing, just let's go. Naruto intertwined the fingers of his right hand with those of Kaguya's left hand. She smiled and squeezed the blonde man's hand affectionately. They had finally arrived at Ishiraku, it was empty, which the blonde was grateful for. Old Naruto, to smiling pig miserman. Kagaya eating with Naruto at Ishiraku. Naruto, how was your mission? Naruto, very weird. Kagaya for Naruto. Imagine a place where you are seen as a god and you are a simple human. I even found my Bible, pulling out a yellow book with a fox in the middle and name, Naruto a human or a god. Kagaya snatched the book from him, and I keep it and when you take me. Naruto, sure you want to go. Kagaya, yes, Naru you are going to take me. Naruto, I'm not sure, if you're going to behave, I'm sure I'll take you but after the exams chunins. Kagaya, but I want to go. Naruto, I've already spoken. Their aim approaches with 2 bowls of ramen. Their aim Naruto, this is the friend you booked the place for, she said with a smile. He got distracted for a moment and dropped the bowl. It was all about Naruto. Kagaya, without even thinking about it, opened a portal before the bowls fell on Naruto, and they left. To a dimension, who knows which one. I'm already very sorry there. Naruto, nothing happens quietly. I'm already sure there. Naruto, if sure, you could bring us another order, he smiled. That's it for me, I'm coming now, he said with a smile. Kagaya hugged the arm of the blonde, as if it were his property, and did not plan to let go. Kagaya, you're fine. Naruto would be. Naruto, if I'm really calm, strokes his head. Besides, you didn't need to open that portal. Kagaya, you were going to get burned. Naruto, you know nothing would happen to me. Kagaya, okay, and smile. That was when I got the new order and Kagaya returned to his state of seriousness. Naruto, thanks to Iyami. Kagaya, thank you in a dry way and without a trace of kindness. Naruto started eating like it was the last day of his life. At Hino's flower shop. Naruto, I have to go now, the boss is calling me. I Hino carefully. Naruto gets out and goes to the original. I'll bring you back in Ishiraku. Naruto was telling Kagaya about his mission, and how strange the demon village was, and how fun it was to see some old friends. Kagaya was telling him about his team, and how fun it was to watch them fight over any stupid thing. And he told her about a cat that he didn't know if it was a demon or a god, but it was almost impossible to catch. Naruto laughed as he remembered that mission with his friends. There he could only see me in the distance, because he realized that if Kagaya approached, she would get serious and well. That cut off the fluency of the conversation. After more than 20 bowls of ramen, Naruto and Kagaya left, while Naruto thought and looked at nothing. Kagaya, what do you think, Naruto? Naruto, nothing, only imagined impossible things. Kagaya, how? Naruto, that my parents are here, or that you dance tango with me, and in what to do in which everything recovers the ninja world. Kagaya loaded him up princess style and took him to his favorite place in the village. Kagaya, don't worry Naruto, they will always be for you, she said, as she placed Naruto's head on her lap. Naruto, but I don't see them or touch them or hug them, he said in a tone of sadness. Kagaya, but I will always be for you Naruto. I know, Naruto said as he turned to look at her. After a while, Naruto fell asleep. Kagaya will never be alone, my Naruto anymore. Naruto was waking up. He remembered too well the last thing he saw the night before. It was a face that told him, I will always stay here, for you. When Naruto got up, he found a curious scene. Because Kagaya was lying next to him, he saw her, and dedicated a smile to her. Naruto and Kagaya wake up, Kagaya said as he pushed her slightly. We have a mission together today. Kagaya got up without laughing a bit, and went straight to the bathroom of the house. I forgot to mention that Naruto lived with Kagaya, because she wanted it that way and no one thought to contradict her, but of course. They slept in different rooms. Naruto slept in his average-sized room, while Kagaya slept in a room for a queen. Naruto, don't worry, it's just a joke by the way that you were doing in my bed. Kagaya was already in the shower, but she blushed a lot, because she wasn't sure whether to tell him the truth or lie to him. What? Does Kagaya bother you that I sleep with you? Not Naruto, but it's a bit embarrassing then. Kagaya, then. Naruto, forget it or next time ask for permission. Kagaya, but he didn't want to wake you up, you looked so cute once he understood what that blush said. Naruto, will see. Well. Okay, but don't do it again. Kagaya, got it, you didn't like it did you? Naruto, what question is that? Kagaya, well the truth is that since I came here, your life has not been the same as before. Naruto, you know your mouth is full of reason, so I'll ask the Okage for a few days off, and I'll spend them with you. Then I'm going to prepare your team to pass the Chunin's exams, and you can accompany me while you look like already. Kagaya, shut up, I don't want you to change your life for me. Naruto, but my life wasn't going to be the same anymore anyway, and with you I feel like I keep something of me and me. With you I'm still me. Kagaya, but Naruto, I don't want you to change before the world. Naruto, but... Kagaya, Naruto, let's be honest, you're awesome. He gets out of the shower to change. Naruto, you know it's not true, the world didn't accept me until... Kagaya, until you showed them who Naruto Uzumaki was, the #1 ninja to surprise people. The hyperactive number ninja of the village of the already changed leaf stands in front. Naruto, the ninja who stole smiles from everyone, and the ninja who stole my heart, gives him a kiss on the forehead, never change my blonde. Naruto didn't know what to do, he was confused, he was just declared the most powerful being in the ninja world, and by himself. Naruto, with permission, changed his slippers for his ninja sandals, and went out the window of his room. I'll see you in the afternoon, she smiled at him. Kagaya, until the afternoon, don't go with that dangerous one, please don't go with the dangerous one. Naruto went straight to the office of the Okage, where by chance there was a jet with a black eye. Naruto entered through the window. Kakashi. Some interesting mission for today. Kakashi, Naruto, there is a door. Naruto, I know, but I need to clear my head. Kakashi, not today. There are no missions for you because you are not going with Kagaya. Mom, I don't know, maybe later. Naruto went from roof to roof without a specific direction. In the Okage Tower, Sasuke was proposed to. Kakashi, today, I don't think it's another option. And Sakura. Come on in. Sakura-sensei, how does Naruto think I took this confection? Sasuke, Naruto, what are you going to do? Sakura, I wish someone would confess and not just go to the idiot. Sasuke, ya Sakura, I already told Kakashi that I'm going to stay for a couple of months. Sakura pounced on Sasuke, who accepted her hug. Kakashi only started to take out his books from Ichika Limited Collection, along with Jiraiya's latest work. The Story of the Blonde Hero. He started reading this last book that brought back very good memories. Sakura-sensei, what is this book? Kakashi, Jiraiya's latest book, The Story of the Blonde Hero. Kagaya walked through the door with her transformation, and with the equipment in her care. Sakura approached Kagaya, who only kept being. Sakura, Kagaya, we need to talk. Kagaya, what do you want to talk about? He said it would be, and even in an annoyed tone. Sakura, do you want me to say it here in front of your students? Kagaya. I don't think Naruto told them what Naruto told you. Sakura Nada only came here with her pajamas and her ninja sandals. I don't think it's very difficult to guess. Kagaya, where is he? She said, worried as she was afraid I would do something stupid. Sakura, I have no idea, but come on, we need to talk. Kagaya is fine, but not on this site. Sakura, let's go to the Okage face. Just as they are leaving, Naruto enters, who since he had nothing to do decided to take any mission. But was surprised to find Kagaya's team. Naruto, and boys, and Kagaya. Genin one went with Sakura to talk. Naruto, how about I take care of you today? Genin, a great one. Naruto, come on, there's a lot to teach you today. Naruto made a sign to them, and they followed him. On the faces of the Ukage. Kagaya, what do you know? Sakura, the only thing I have is Naruto not knowing what to do. A Kagaya with a suspicious attitude, and that's it. Kagaya, what do you want me to tell you? Sakura, I just want you to cover it up. Kagaya was surprised by what he said, because she did not expect that. Believe me, I will if he lets me. Sakura, and tell me exactly what happened. Kagaya wasn't going to say anything unless Naruto answered, but before she even realized it, Sakura was already on her. And Kagaya managed to cover up. Sakura, don't even think about hurting him, he's like my brother. Kagaya, and that's what you could do to me. Sakura, you have no idea. Kagaya, believe me, you couldn't even beat me by surprise. The two jumped towards each other. In the tower, Naruto had a bad feeling. Naruto, guys, go to the training camp. I caught up with them. He went in the direction of the faces of Okages. Naruto just arrived to stop Sakura's punch and throw her back, and it gave him time to deflect Kagaya's fist. And then open a portal and take her with him. Before Sakura left, tell Sasuke to explain. Naruto had already gone to another dimension with Kagaya, and Sakura went straight to Sasuke. With Naruto. Naruto, Kagaya, what happened there? Kagaya detransformed. I don't know, she attacked me, for telling her to propose. Naruto, mom, by the way, about the morning. Kagaya, it's okay, forget it. Naruto, yes, as if it were easy to forget that the person you appreciate the most proposes to you was easy. Kagaya, you appreciate me. Naruto, that you think I fix all your messes because you're my friend, or I take you to lunch so you don't get mad. Or that I just play with you. Kagaya, but why are you doing it? Naruto, I don't know, but I love you, and I don't want you to get in trouble. Kagaya, rest assured, but now I'm going to be less kind to others. Naruto came over and took her by the chin and gave her a little kiss. I think I had to do this since the morning. Kagaya, thank you. Okage Tower. Sakura was returning from her little encounter with Kagaya, and came across a somewhat peculiar scene Sasuke had. The Naruto Bible. Sakura Sasuke, what are you doing with that book? Sasuke Naruto, oh great god of courage, make my dear Sakura not to hit me anymore. Kakashi Sasuke, put down that book. Instead of not getting hit, you're going to end up at the Stone of the Fallen. Sasuke looked up, noticing a very angry dangerous. Sasuke, you just prayed to Naruto. Sasuke, I Sasuke Uchiha, leave all my assets in the name of Sakura Aruno after my death. Sasuke signed a Sakura paper from today, I tell you that I am a Naruto witness. Sakura just slowly approached calmly. Sasuke, I'll be with you. He prepares his fist once, put down that book, he punches it. Sasuke help, Naruto save me. As soon as he said that, Naruto and Kagaya appeared holding hands with a smile. Naruto Sakura, could you tell me what you and Kagaya were doing fighting in each other's faces? Sakura, well, the truth is, I'm worried about how you would react to its making. Naruto, relax, Sakura, everything's been taken care of, isn't it, Kagaya? Kagaya, yes, Naruto. Sakura approached Kagaya, I'm sorry. Kagaya, I just ignore her. Naruto, let's go with my team, quick, he said in a serious way. Naruto, get ahead there, he caught up with you, and don't make a mess. Kagaya nodded and left the tower. Naruto, sorry if you behave this way, but because of what you did, Sakura, our progress was delayed, or at least yours. She was telling me that she already wanted to start talking to you in a nice way, but that was already a while ago. Sakura, I understand, well, and that was that portal from before. Naruto just turned around or left. Sasuke, don't look at me, he went out the window. And Sakura was left with questions. Sasuke, thank you, great Naruto, leader of the brave, and symbol of peace. Naruto had already arrived with Kagaya. Naruto Kagaya, where are you? Hey guys, do they know where you are? Genin won no idea, besides she is very bitter. Naruto, calm down brother, she is like that because her life was not at all simple. Kagaya appears firm behind Naruto and covers his eyes who I am. Naruto let's see leaves his 3 genins without doing anything, and has white skin, I don't know. Kagaya you are bad Naruto. Genin 1 Naruto has problems, right? Genin 2 I think so. The 3 genin are slowly leaving, going home. Naruto was thrown 1 meters by a slight push given by Kagaya, he just resigned himself to get up. Naruto ouch didn't remember how strong you were anymore. Kagaya you forget that I am a goddess, she throws herself on Naruto, I am your goddess. Naruto only puts mine below him and no one else. Kagaya, I want to go on a mission, but I can't with the Jennies. Naruto leave that to me, he said as he positioned himself next to Kagaya. Kagaya and the children. Naruto, I think they left a couple of minutes ago. Kagaya, and you're not taking that vacation you told me. Naruto, I don't know, what do you think? So he spent his afternoon talking about things without any specific reason or meaning, they were just having fun. It was already time to go home, and Naruto decided to go to Ishiraku for lunch, where by chance he was Hinata next to Sakura eating. Sakura here come, that pair of Tortolos. And kills Tortolos, who? Until he realized who Sakura was talking about, sorry Sakura, now that I remember my dad told me to be early. Sakura. He took it better than I expected for sure, and it's not for anything else. And Mata if sure, it's already late, and Mata left too depressed. After advancing a few blocks, Hinata started running while crying, she was devastated. Yuga Mansion. Hinata was arriving. Her sister was waiting for her to eat, since her dad had gone to eat with his friends. And Inabi didn't handle the stove properly and well she needed Hinata. Nari Hinata. What did I just see? Naruto was going with someone else with her because of all the people in the world she, even if she became Gaara, Sasuke or Sakura, would put up with it, but she didn't have to be the one who appeared out of nowhere to save everyone. Of course, for sure he's only with her out of gratitude, not for anything else, but it's still a lot. I understand that he has helped in the war against Madara, but dating her for something like that if they barely know each other. Or maybe she is controlling him to do whatever she wants, if it can be that too. But what does it matter, the wound is just as big, wasting all the times I had the opportunity to tell him how I felt, what I was thinking. To say how much I love him, no. I won't lose to that pale face, but like no matter what I do, how am I going to compete if he's already with her? And if I release him from his control, or make him owe a debt to the clan, or better I seduce him and make him impregnate me. Normal narration. And Nada finally arrived at her house. When she entered, she noticed her sister and forgot for a moment everything she had thought. She only focused on taking care of her sister. As if there was nothing in the world. While Hinata was preparing the meal, Inabi and Cream, what is happening to you today? You look weird, like you've been crying. And Cream is nothing, Anab, go set the table for you to eat, and we'll talk there. It was getting light in Konoha in a mansion. you could see a young lady with pearl eyes. Getting up, when he woke up the only thing he thought was today is a new day. He went straight to the shower, where he began to have various thoughts. Narrate and Cream. I'm not entirely sure what she saw yesterday, but if it's true I'm not going to let myself be beaten. I'm coming for you, Naruto. Normal narration. After finishing her shower and going to change, she decided to leave her jacket open today. That was the first big change in her. When she came down the stairs, her sister saw her with her eyes open. She had told her what she saw. But I don't imagine it got to such a degree. And Mata, noticing Anab's looks, put himself in his classic position of shy. Inada, I look bad. Anab, not at all. He just extended his arms and started pointing at Inada in a comical way. You look different. Naruto had left his house because today he had to go with Kakashi to discuss some things. Naruto, while walking towards the tower, was receiving multiple bows, but instead of respect, they seemed more of veneration than anything else. When he arrived by chance, he met Sakura and Sasuke. Sasuke looked determined, so much so that Sakura didn't stop him. He still didn't look back. This strained Naruto, which you expect when the strongest woman of the nations. Elementals can't stop Sasuke, he's stuck on something serious. Narrates Naruto. I ran at full speed to catch up to Sasuke because he looked very serious. When I got to his side, I asked him why he was so serious. Sasuke or Naruto, I bowed down. I'm going to ask for the Uchiha's territory to put one. I was left with the doubt because we were about to arrive inside Kakashi's office. Normal narration. Naruto and Sasuke entered together. Kakashi, what do you need? No one said anything until Sasuke spoke. Sasuke, permission to use the Uchiha's land and also permission of construction. Kakashi and you, Naruto. Naruto, I've come to request a tracking mission. I need Kurena's team and Kagaya on the team. Kakashi, for what? If you can tell. Naruto is a very serious thing, but nothing that can't be handled. I want to go to Yuzu. Kakashi, that Naruto, you're crazy, that's a dementia. Why do you want to go? Naruto, to retrieve something that my mother left there. Kakashi, can tell what? Naruto, his favorite toy, I saw him in a picture, his last picture there, and to make some arrangements. Kakashi, aren't planning to re-establish the Yuzu, are you? Naruto, I'm not crazy. I'm going to recover the bodies that are left of the fallen, and I am going to give them and the village a dignified burial. Kakashi, the mission is going to be approved on one condition, that they take this document to the demon village. Naruto, okay, you call them while I take the document. Kakashi, you're going to go alone. Naruto imagines Inada and Kagaya in that village. I better go, and I'm very silly, I know, but I also have my touch of logical reasoning. Kakashi was currently imagining what Naruto had said. The mind of Kakashi narrates Kakashi. Kagaya is entering after her, Kurenai enters, and after her Kurenai with his team followed. Naruto arrives at the end. Naruto, you guys wait here while I come. Everyone nodded. Naruto left, and the team, in less than a rooster crows, dispersed. Kagaya and Jimata seemed to be going to the same place, as they both looked for the grandiose and majestic life-size limited edition figure of Naruto. The team did not let them see that it was going to be. He got sidetracked at a pet stand. Shino got sidetracked at a bug stand. It was strange to find such a place anywhere. Kurena and saw a clothing store and did not resist. Kagaya and Jimata were on their way until they came across the store they were looking for. They both saw that there was only one. The two of them jumped for him and touched him. They finished on time, but the fight was still pulling. It didn't stop, and this happened to more. They started a battle of Kyune, then to share blows, until ending in what you could say a catfight. Naruto was still negotiating some things with the village leader about the treaty until an explosion was heard. Naruto pats his face. Naruto, excuse me, boss, I'll pay for the damages. Boss, why are you saying that? Naruto, just come on, we have to stop this from getting to more. The two ran to the scene of what happened to find Inada and Kagaya fighting. 5 minutes later, they send a messenger bird to Konoha, where Kakashi is informed. And paperwork. The reality. Kakashi, Naruto, you see the mission starts tomorrow. Naruto leaves through the window and goes straight to the exit of the village to head to the demons. Kakashi, Sasuke, what do you want the grounds for? Sasuke, I'll start with a temple, something simple, something like a place of monks and so on. Kakashi, monks. Sasuke, yes, monks, I will lead you and take you along the Naruto way, show what the ninja way is like and follow it. Kakashi, you will inculcate the religion of Naruto there. Sasuke, if he will only eat ramen. Kakashi, ramen. Sasuke, if you take out the Naruto Bible, being direct, the ramen will have to be consumed daily to achieve a progress in your faith to Naruto. Kakashi, that's what you're going to do, and what Sakura says. Sasuke refuses for now, but he is already accepting the new god. Sakura entered through the door, holding a stick that she took from a building next to the tower. The last thing Sasuke saw at that moment was a broken glass and the clouds. Naruto had already left the village in the direction of the demon when he had an object fall, and it is nothing more and nothing less than Sasuke. Naruto just stepped aside to drop it. Sasuke woke up and began to accompany Naruto on his mission. While in the village, you can see Hinata on the street, going towards the Okage Tower. On the way, she attracted a lot of stares. Because she was wearing her jacket, open, showing part of her body, she shyly hugs with intention. From taking cover when he arrived, he met his team, and to his bad luck with Kaguya. And Nada simply stopped hugging, and walked safely towards them. As she got closer, Kiba started drooling, while Kaguya just swept her with his gaze. Kiba. Hello Hinata that you paw. I'll pass. Hinata just ignored him, and followed his step towards the office. Hinata Okage sent for me. Kakashi turned her to Verena. Suu. A stream of blood came out of her nose, and Nada blushed at the fact. With Naruto, Naruto had already arrived at the demon village and made the treaty, while he bought another copy of his Bible. When he bought it, he found Sasuke carrying a lot of Bibles and too many clothes like the one he used before his training with Jiraiya. Naruto just moved forward and ignored the fact, kept going, and just lay down in a tree. After waiting for a long time, Sasuke returned to take them back to the village. In the office of the Okage, after dealing with Kakashi's perversion, Kakashi Naruto requested a slightly peculiar mission. Kiba knew it, that asshole can't handle everything. Two immense pressures were felt on the spot. Kakashi, you guys calm down, or I'm going to tell Naruto that you had a fight, and that's not going to be good for either of you. Continuing the request that they will accompany him to Yuzu to be able to give a dignified burial to the fallen. And to be able to recover a toy from his mom. The whole office was silent. Yes, it was a rare request. Kaguya, when the mission starts, Kakashi wait for me to return. For some strange reason, this talk took longer than it should have, and it was already dusk. In the place you see a yellow blur coming through the window. Everyone stood on guard. Naruto, hello, mission completed. Naruto let out a smile. Kakashi. Naruto, why are you coming in through the window? Naruto, because it was open, and I saw people, so I went in. Everyone slapped their faces, and saw him saying with a clear look, you can't be more of an idiot. Naruto, the treaty was successfully carried out, they just made a strange request. Kakashi, which one? Naruto, send people to the Naruto Temple of Konoha. Do we have such a thing? Kakashi, not yet, but some idiot citizen wants to do it. Naruto, and I was supposed to be the idiot of the team. Kakashi just got hit. Everyone went home. Naruto didn't even notice Hinata's change and went with Kaguya to his apartment. The next day, they all met at the gates of Konoha and set off towards Yuzu. Naruto was leading the group along with Kurena, and that he left Shikamaru as a babysitter. With Shikamaru? Today Shikamaru had an unexpected visitor. Certain brothers from the arena went to the blade to fix a problem that there was between some ninjas from both villages. Tamari deviated on the way and went with a Nara who had a little girl in her arms. Tamari, you idiot, stop at that place. Shikamaru, wait, problematic, I can explain it. Tamari, there's nothing to explain, that's a child, and if it's not yours, whose it's going to be? Sakura and Sasuke's. In another place, two people were discussing plans for a temple sneezed, and their thought was because suddenly I feel the need to have a child. After a beating from Tamaria Shikamaru, and an explanation shorter than the beating, everything calmed down for the Nara. After about 2 days of traveling by sea and land, they managed to reach a big island. It didn't seem like a big deal. Narrates Kiva. Why would Naruto want us to come here for? By God, it doesn't seem like a big deal. Those were my first thoughts, until we started to go deeper. I saw only corpses, many corpses, some had a little hair. Mostly they were red in color. At that moment, Naruto clenched his fists, turned around, and I saw how he come and held back the tears, so special was this clan. By chance, and to Kaguya by chance, she did not seem neutral as always, she looked furious, Shino, and Mata, and I didn't understand one bit of what was going on. Until Naruto out of nowhere started running and hit the first tree he saw. After that, Naruto made many clones, and they all scattered him. This is serious stuff. Normal narration. Naruto, well guys, it's time to start the mission, and Mata and Kagaya, you will help me to look for my mother's doll. It's this one. Shino and Kiba will help me with the corpses that are out of sight, and you, Karena. And you will accompany my clones and organize them. Everyone nodded and went on to do their part. With Hinata and Kagaya. Hinata, I'm going to find that doll, and Naruto will leave that stupid rabbit. Kagaya, yes of course, as if Naruto was going to leave me for a girl like you. Hinata, what did you say? Kagaya, what you heard makes you nervous. The two went on and on with their search. After about 4 hours of intensive search, most of the bodies were already recovered, but the doll was nowhere to be seen. Until the bodies were placed, Naruto checked the tower of the ruler of the place. All he saw was a bunch of papers and a few peace agreements that never reached their intended recipient. But when he got closer and searched more thoroughly everywhere, he found something unique, because there was a box with a blood seal. He opened it. When I saw what was inside, it was surprising. There was the doll, a letter and a ring. Anyway, if you're reading this, it means we lost the battle. Please, I ask you as you, probably one of the only Uzumakis, put our last name at the top, and if you have already done it. The same. Same, thanks, same. Naruto just took the ring and put it on. The doll put it in his jacket and left the tower with a big smile. Soon Naruto burned all the bodies of the Uzumakis together with all the scrolls I found, thus destroying all the secrets of the greatest clan in the world. They were going to start their trip that same night, but they decided to rest. In Naruto's dream. A lot of redheads. Saying thank you Uzumaki Naruto, after spending the night at a camp, Naruto got up a little late. No one bothered him because this was heavier for him than for any of them. By God, he just cremated the bodies of all his relatives. Naruto woke up and realized that everyone was already awake. Naruto, hi, how did you rest? Before anyone could even answer Naruto, 2 spots came to him. Kagaya Naruto, go away, prepare this. Naruto tried it, it wasn't the best thing in the world, but it was good. And kill Naruto, do you like it? Naruto, afraid to accept, tried. It was also not better than Kagaya's, but they were similar. And Navara Kagu, which one is better? Naruto turned to Karena and asked for help with his eyes. She just turned around, just like Shino and Kiba. Naruto, they're both hot, but we have to go back, come on. Naruto advanced and continued to the beach where 2 spots arrived. Kagaya and Jimata, ya, I beat you. Kagaya, your girl beat me, yes of course. And kill who you say girl, plain rabbit. Kagaya clearly understood what I was trying to say. Kagaya, that bothers you, my perfect measurements in front and behind, besides Naruto is already with me. I don't understand why you fight. And Nada, I will not give up, he is only with you because you helped him in the war. A little far from them. Naruto, Karena, and you can help me to separate them. Karena, and of course, but you're going to have to give me a bonus. Naruto neglected, I give it to him. Karena, and was slowly and carefully approaching. Karena, and let's see, you two already look like a couple of dragged fighting for Naruto. First, you and Nada respect Naruto's decision. And secondly, you Kagaya don't do stupid things, you're going to lose Naruto for fighting. After Kagaya and Hinata stopped arguing, Naruto prepared a boat to leave the island. He decided to make the trip more peaceful. A more relaxed journey began. Naruto was playing cards with Shino and Kiba, Karena, and was checking that Kagaya didn't move. And kill Miss Kagaya, they won't let her move. Kagaya, no, but you know, I can do something that you can't. He said this by walking up to Naruto, turning his head, and giving him a kiss. Hinata, he said in a whisper, Kagaya, what did you say? Kagaya kissed Naruto again. And so the first day of this trip passed. Naruto was leaning on the camera when Hinata enters. Hinata started dancing without music, Naruto didn't even notice her presence. Naruto stopped and saw Hinata weird, so he decided to get out of there. Already outside, Karena, and someone knows where Hinata is. Naruto, I saw her on the camera, I think she was dancing. Karena, and hit the innate face that you are trying to do on camera. And Nada had burst into tears, Naruto didn't mind her, but he wouldn't give up. And Nada stood up, wiped her tears, and went out. And Nada, Naruto, I have to talk to you, he said it in a painful scream. Naruto just walked to the camera again, and Nada followed him. Karena, and this is serious. Naruto and Nada. And Cream, why? Why her and not me? Naruto is difficult. And Cream, why is it difficult? Naruto and Nada. You wouldn't understand, besides, I don't know what you're fighting about. I never told you that I accepted your statement. I always saw you as a friend, and always. I'm always going to do it. Hinata just walked up to Naruto and slapped him, then hugged him and cried. Naruto accepted the hug and stayed like that until Hinata fell asleep. Hinata, I'm not giving up, she said sleepily. Naruto was just waking up after hearing Hinata's statement. Once again, he let her rest. While he went out and talked to Kaguya. It was a long night. Naruto got up and walked over to where Shino was. Naruto, you've already had breakfast. Shino, he shook his head. Naruto smiled at this gesture and took out a scroll where he had prepared instant ramen. Naruto, will you? Shino walked over to him and they started eating. Naruto, this reminds me of the academy when we only talk to each other. Shino, yes, I like to show you all my insects. Naruto, let's see, show me the ones you have now. Several species came out of Shino, and he began to explain each one to Naruto. For example, there was one that his breastplate was so hard that it cost to cut it with a kunai. There was another that instead of feeding on chakra or blood, he used the fabric. And there was even a species of bees that his picket could hurt as if they'll stick a kunai in your skin. While Shino explained each species to him, Naruto gave ideas of use to each one. For example, Lo Aburame, they didn't use the heart ones so much. But Naruto told him that they could create an armor with them to defend themselves, or with the bee that one maybe didn't do much. But many could be the best torture instrument. Or the fabric one could be used to defend themselves, equipping the enemy, breaking his crib cover, and yes, so with other my races. Shino had two thoughts. One that he would use the ideas, and two that Naruto was already scary. Can't imagine what it would have been like if he was in any clan. You would never know what happens during his battle. Soon Kiba arrived and began to see the insects. Naruto, I have an idea. Shino, give me 3 different insects. Shino gave her 2 cockroach-like insects, or one that looked like a beetle. Naruto took them and plunged them into 3 jars of ramen. He went with Kaguya, Kurena and Jimata and woke them up. Naruto, breakfast is ready. The 3 of them got up and were about to start eating when the 3 of them shouted at the same time. And Mata Naruto idiot got up and activated his Yakugan. Kaguya, this is going to hurt you, honey. At that moment, Naruto felt the real terror. Kurena and just threw a cradle and to the cheek of the blonde. Naruto started writing under this letter, I ask for a burial as a hero and not for the war. In various parts of the world, many men saw heaven and began to pray for a blonde. And Nada started following Naruto while Kurena and threw kunai at him that who knows where he got so many from, and Kaguya just hit him. Shino for his part hid with Kiba. Kaguya, Naruto, and their group finally arrived at the village. Naruto was greeting everyone. Kaguya was just passing by, and Mata was thinking. Shino saw his insects, and Kiba broke up when he entered, saying that he was going with his girlfriend. Naruto went ahead and arrived with Kakashi. Kakashi, and how did the mission go? Naruto, nothing is impossible. Kaguya turned around and walked out in the direction of his house. Kakashi still hasn't finished his tantrum. Naruto, if only it was very exhausting. Kakashi, ha, yes of course, exhausting, especially for a goddess. Naruto, Kakashi, I think it's time to tell the truth. Kakashi is not very soon. Naruto is the best, apart, sooner or later they will know. Kakashi talked to her, proposed to do it, and it depends on what she tells you. Naruto nodded and went home. Narrates Naruto. At first it seems like a good idea, but it really is, and if they don't accept it, and if they try to attack her. And if she decides to go back to her old habits, or how about if she thinks she'll use it? I don't know, it's very complicated, it really needs to be said. Not true, but if I don't say it, I'm deceiving the rest of the world. But if they ask me for their life in exchange for those of the war, I will be able to. I'm going to have the courage. Are you going to want to support me? Can we stay together? She's not gonna hate me or she is. Doubts keep growing in my head. Am I really capable of carrying this? These and more are my thoughts as I walk home. Kaguya, why did you betray me? I trusted you with everything, and Matiya knew it. You're the bad one here. Sakura, Naruto is up to her or us. Enough is not something for me to decide, but if they put me between a rock and a hard place. Child, that you are more afraid of the edge of a sword or the stares of people. To the people. Child, that you hated lies or betrayal more. The betrayal. What is better, the smile of 1,000 people or a smile of that person you adore? I don't know. Ha 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 ha. Jiraiya, I know you would have an answer to this dilemma. Arriving home, Naruto stood in front of Kaguya, looking into her eyes without fear of the results of his words. The possibilities of what would happen would be immense. Naruto said to her face, the clear idea of telling the truth. Kagaya, unsure of the results, ran out traveling between dimensions. Naruto will then enter the portal before it is closed, Kagaya sitting on the sand, watching the sun absorbed in her thoughts. With tears in her eyes. Afraid of losing back what he appreciates most in his life, he turned to look at it. Naruto, seeing his beloved in that condition, went to hug her tightly. Don't worry, I'll always be by your side. Kagaya saw him, she knew she couldn't force him to give up his lifelong dream for her. But it's the last thing he has left, his hopes, his dreams are with him. Naruto's case is no different, despite having tried so hard, he was not afraid. The only fear that exists for both of us right now is losing each other. Relax, if you want the truth to never be known, I'll take care of that. The fear begins to fade in the atmosphere, the gazes of both meet once again. Beautiful eyes appealed against deep blue eyes. No other existence matters right now. You are safe, you and me forever. Naruto only responded with a kiss. The answer was obvious. If they left that dimension, the first thing they did was to go to Kakashi to tell the decision made. The world would never know the truth. But what was the truth? To people who love each other no matter what happens, that's the only truth here. The really good and the really bad, it becomes diffuse, the love, the passion is so great that being able to give everything doesn't hurt. End of the story. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next theories. The link of the creator of the story will be in the description. That said, see you in the next theory. Bye. What would have happened if Naruto fell in love with Kagaya? Full movie. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next theories. With that said, let's get started. Narrates Naruto. I find myself in the middle of a battle against Madara Uchiha, together with Sasuke, which to be honest hasn't helped much. But hey, what can you ask him to do? He recently learned that humanity was worth, even if it was little. While we were sharing blows, Sasuke and I stepped back to take a breather. Just at that, Madara decides to give us a speech about the power and how invincible he was. But I managed to see how Zetsu approaches from behind him and pierces his shattered heart. Sasuke and I looked at each other surprised. That was something I didn't expect. I didn't waste a moment, and I went over to talk to her. Zed, his mother, they want to stop us. Kagaya, mom, they don't look that strong, they are. Zetsu, yes, my uncle gave them his powers, and they are going to try to seal you. Kagaya? I started to see how he was approaching. I didn't know exactly his intentions, but I managed to see how a stick came out of his sleeve. When he attacked me, I barely managed to react. Narrator? The battle continued as they traveled between dimensions, but Kagaya finally understood that he had to separate them. He decided to go for Naruto first, because thanks to Zetsu he learned that he had been fighting longer. Kagaya created a portal and took Naruto to a dimension that she wasn't sure was a good idea. It brought back bad memories. Literally, that dimension shows your life in a third-person view. Naruto and Kagaya met at that place. Naruto was about to attack her, but instead of hitting her, he felt as if a cloth wrapped around him. The same in the case of Kagaya, this was new for her. She had never entered that dimension with someone, and the only thing she could do was see what was happening, everything that Naruto saw and lived, and in the case of Naruto, she saw what Kagaya lived. After almost 2 hours, they had both lived each other's life, managing to understand why they are that way. When Kagaya managed to see Naruto again, she only saw him surprised, and Naruto approached her shyly. "I'm sorry, Naruto," he said, coming out of his six ways wise way, extending his hand towards Kagaya. Kagaya was simply shocked. No one besides Tenji had ever behaved like this to her. She accepted Naruto's hand. Naruto just turned to look at her with an Uzumaki smile. "Naruto, we talked." Kagaya, "Of course, but it wouldn't be here." "Naruto, where?" Kagaya follows. "He opened a portal for me and entered." Naruto, with a little hesitation, entered. As he entered, he was surprised to see what appeared to be a garden. Kagaya, "Cute, isn't it?" Naruto, "If it is, I remember being here." Smile. Kagaya, "What did you see?" He said it would be. Naruto, "I'm not sure, I think it was you and many parts of your life," he said doubtfully. "And you?" Kagaya, "I think I saw your life." Naruto, "Did you really like any of my battles?" He said cheerfully, in a childish and proud tone, getting a giggle out of Kagaya. Kagaya, "You are awesome, regardless. The one or the why you did everything possible to help, and yes, I loved it when you defeated that young man who had the Rinnegan." Pain, if I remember correctly, said with a smile, surprising Naruto. Naruto, wow, I thought you couldn't smile anymore. Kagaya, if it's been a long time since I did it, I don't remember one before this one, she said cheerfully. Naruto, what are you going to do? Kagaya, I'll stay here and wait, think and see what I do next. He walked up to Naruto and gave him a tender kiss on the cheek. Thank you. Naruto was touching his cheek for Kagaya. I think the power consumed me a little bit, but I don't see the point anymore. My beloved has already died, my brothers, just the same. I only have Zetsu who will die soon. Naruto and I don't count. Kagaya looks at him surprised, but why would you do that for me? Naruto, because you and I live the same. Kagaya looks at him, loneliness. Different, but the same at the same time, he extends his hand to her. Come, I'll take care of you even if you don't need it. Kagaya was crying without realizing it, smiled and rushed towards Naruto. Kagaya, thank you, thank you. Naruto, well, let's go back. He took Kagaya's hand. Kagaya opened a portal, but never let go of Naruto's hand. They both crossed the portal, reaching the dimension where Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi and Obito were. Perspective of Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi and Obito. Kakashi, hey look, he pointed to a point where a portal was starting to form. Everyone turned around. Sakura, that's just Kagaya. Sasuke, Naruto lost, there was sadness in his voice. Sakura started crying, and Sasuke tried to play strong. Although Naruto was not the person he would most like to meet by chance if he was his best friend. And not only that, but his only true friend, Kakashi and Obito by his. Some of them just looked down. Naruto, why are your heads so low? Sakura, because you were defeated, turned around and saw Naruto. You idiot, you scared us away. Wait, and the 6 ways mode. Naruto is no longer needed. Sakura was already going to give him the blow to claim him when Kagaya stopped her. Kagaya, don't even think about touching it. Naruto, Kagaya, leave her, nothing was going to happen to me, I'm already used to it. Kagaya, but. Naruto, Kagaya 3. Kagaya wasn't sure what she meant by 3, but she knew it wasn't any good. Kagaya, okay, and annoying tone. The other 4 only saw these surprised. Naruto had just controlled the enemy only with words, that enemy who was giving them an unforgettable headache. And almost killed them more than once. Naruto, well, they looked so surprised. Everyone but Kagaya and Naruto got a drop in the head. Sasuke, idiot, you just controlled the being that even the sage of the 6 paths could not control alone. Naruto, Kagaya controls you. Kagaya, no, I'm not sure. The other 4 were worse off than before, they didn't know if they were acting or were that stupid. Naruto, Kagu, you can come back to us. Kagaya, of course, Naru. Sasuke, does anyone else think it's weird? He only got a nod from the other 3, okay, and it's weird. Kagaya opened the portal, as she was about to leave, Naruto stops her. Kagaya, Naruto, there's a problem. Naruto, not calm.